This is the IBM 3153 serial terminal from 1993. After some lovely beeps, we're greeted with an orange phosphor screen. This terminal is currently hooked up to a Raspberry Pi 2 via a USB serial adapter, as well as another mystery device that we'll see in another episode. Let's log in and get something going on the screen so we can take a better look. Now we're ready to enter the setup screen, which we can access by pressing Ctrl and minus on the numpad. Here we can set up things like terminal type, baud rate, and more. We're using VT100 for compatibility purposes. The default is IBM 3151, which doesn't play nice with everything. Here we can change some display options. This guy can go up to 100 Hz and 132 columns. This screen gives you some advanced serial settings not available on the initial screen. Answer Back lets you auto login when you turn on the unit. This is one of my favorite pages. Here you can have any text you want be assigned to the F1 through 12 keys, making it easy to execute one-liners on both serial consoles. Let's do that real quick with Who Am I? We've already talked about some shortcuts, but here's a list taken from the manual that should be helpful. Speaking of shortcuts, let's take a look at switching between sessions and go to our secondary mystery device. You want to ensure setup is configured to allow a second session. Once it is, you can switch sessions by pressing left control and enter on the numpad. Another nifty feature of this terminal is split screen mode, which lets you view both connections at the same time. Make sure both sessions are set to anything but IBM 3151, and then select Split under Session Display in the General page. Here we see the back of the unit. It has two aux ports, a parallel printer port, power, and a PS2 connector for the keyboard. Let's take a moment to discuss cabling. Port 1 uses a regular serial cable, while Port 2 requires a null modem cable, as illustrated in this diagram from the manual. I find that the DB25 to DB9 cables on Amazon work great. You can just throw in some male-to-male null modem adapters to get the desired pin out, depending on what port you're using. Here are the cables I'm using. Port 1 is a null modem cable connected to a null modem adapter, effectively turning it into a straight-through cable. Port 2 on the right is a DB25 to DB9 cable with a null modem adapter on it, turning it into a null modem cable. And that's the IBM 3153. I find it most useful for old Unix machines that don't have a VGA output, especially for cases where you might need to enter in a command quickly or interrupt the boot process. In cases like that, a USB serial adapter isn't always a great option. Hope you found this interesting. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.